Did you know that the hot flashes you're experiencing might not be burning or might be burning more than just your patience? They could be scorching your paycheck too. Don't worry, I've got you covered. My name's Tracy Montgomery, and I talk about all things menopause, midlife, and all the crap, mainly the crap that comes with it. So, menopause. It's not just that hormonal roller coaster, is it? It can affect us financially. How is that? How is it not talked about that the menopause can also affect us financially? Well, there is loads of research out there that shows that due to menopausal symptoms, women's productivity decreases. Women going through menopause have more sick days. They even seek early retirement because they don't know how long it's going to last. It's quite simple, really, isn't it? If we're feeling at our best, we work better, we are better, we are more productive. If we're not feeling too good, if we're on that hormonal roller coaster and we don't know what each day is going to bring, we're not going to be as productive. So therefore, our work capabilities are going to decrease. It's obvious, isn't it? There are certain things we can do about that, though. So let's think about flipping the script a little bit, because yes, those hormones can get in the way. Same time, this can be a new lease of life, a new awakening for us. So let's talk about things that we can do, things like self-mastery. Now, self-mastery, what are we talking about? We hear this all the time, don't we? But we don't hear it discussed as self-mastery. Self-mastery is when we do practical things. We have a routine so that we know what we're doing every day. We use a journal so we can offload what has been happening to us during the day. And we use planners, diaries, as we used to call them, so that we know what we're doing. And then that alleviates a lot of the stress. So we know that there's the hot flashes that can make us feel like we're not ourselves, but there's the brain fog as well, where we actually don't know what we're doing. We're talking to people that we know. We're having these conversations with people that we know, and we know we've known these people for years, but can we? It does happen to us. Can we place them? Can we name them? Do we know where we know them from? These sort of things happen. So on a practical level, where we work, so your employers, if you have employers, your workspace, if you work from home, needs to work for you. Now, there's lots of legislation coming out here in the UK and in the US that is meant to help with accommodations in the workplace for menopausal women. It might not have got to where you're working yet. If it hasn't, point them in my direction and we can have a little chat. But they should do things that help you, allowing you breaks, allowing you time to go and have a drink, allowing you time to get changed if you need to, allowing you to get through this. It's meant to be there to support and help you. And if you feel unsupported within your workplace, you need to talk to your HR department or point them towards me, and I'll talk to your HR department. Also, think about this time. So we know when we were teenagers and our hormones were doing all of that, that we would crave certain foods. I know my daughter craves lots of chocolate when she is in her hormonal cycle, when she's having her menstrual cycle. But we're the same, aren't we? But we also know that some of those foods that we really crave, that really make us for that 1 nanosecond feel really good, are the ones that 10 minutes later are going to make us feel like crap. So think about it. Yeah, it's nice to have a glass of wine every now and then, but that whole bottle of wine. Also, coffee. I'm a morning coffee person. I do need my morning coffee. But having coffee at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, probably not a good idea. So just think about what it is. There's a lot of information out there that states that the The Mediterranean diet is really good for the menopause. See, this brain fog. Sometimes it doesn't clear up that quickly either. And we also, this is one thing that happens a lot during menopause. And I know my mom used to do this all the time. And I know I've got friends that do this as well. They're not going to drink because I spend all day on the loo. Well, no, you'll spend the time emptying your bladder because your bladder's full on the loo. But if you are dehydrated, then other things can't happen. Our whole system relies on our cells. No, I'm doing that. That's your cells. Our cells being in this full state, if you like, because if they're not, if they're flaccid, the chemicals can't move around, you can't get signals passing through them. Everything goes to pot then. So make sure you're staying hydrated. It helps. And let's remember, we're not the only ones doing this. We're not the only ones going through this. 51% of the population are female. At any one point, think about how many women are going to be going through the menopause. And that's a scale as well, isn't it? Okay, so the menopause can start from, I mean, the average is 52. That's what they say the average is. However, it can start in your 30s. There are teenagers that go through the menopause. So we make allowances for teenagers and teenagers having their moods. We don't seem to make allowances for menopausal women having their moods, do we? We put it down to other things. We put it down to it being depression. Well, yeah, it sort of is because your brain doesn't know what it's doing. It's trying to find you again. The hormonal signals that used to be there for your brain have gone. So your brain can't cope. So you are going to be feeling a bit weird. You are going to be acting a bit weird. You are not going to be able to talk properly either. So if you are working in a workplace environment, how do you break this silence? What do you do? Well, yeah, we need to talk to HR. We need to, if we're in a big enough company that's got a HR department, we need to talk to our line managers. We need to state that there are these strategies in place that can increase my productivity, that can make me work better, which means that then I'm not off work so much. You don't have to replace me. That'll decrease your costs. Good point to maybe look after me, huh? And what about all my knowledge? Replacing all my knowledge. Bear in mind that you, at this stage, have probably worked in the same sort of roles for quite some time. You will have a huge skill set and you will have a huge bank of knowledge. And that's not to be dismissed. You might not remember it all of the time, but hey, if you're given the right support within your workplace, if you're nurtured correctly, we nurture, women nurture, that's what we do. So just think about where you're working and bear in mind, you don't have to stay where you are. You don't have to stay working for somebody else. You can always start a little side hustle. You know that saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Throw that out the window. Just ignore that. Just get rid of that one. We could all keep learning. So, as I said, there will be a link below to come and say hello over in my Facebook group. Come and join us over there. Come and chat some more, and we can talk about how you can feel better about yourself and maybe a few side hustles that you might want to start if you're feeling the pressure and you don't want to get up 5 days a week. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.